Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome to Crossworld TCG. My name is Joey, and in today's video, I'm going to teach you guys how to play the Dragon Ball Super card game. Dragon Ball Super is a trading card game in which one player battles another player one-on-one. Occasionally, you'll also be able to team up with two friends to compete in 3v3 competitions as well. Players take turns playing cards, using extra cards to halt their opponent's strategies, and comboing multiple characters into powerful attacks to defeat their opponent, much like in the Dragon Ball anime. The game mat is comprised of several different areas. You have your leader area, your battle area, your life area, your combo area, your energy area, your deck area, and your drop area. As we explain the cards, I'll explain where all the cards go and when they can go in those specific places. So there are three types of cards in the Dragon Ball Super card game. You have leader cards, battle cards, and extra cards. Leader cards are pretty easy to identify. They have two sides to them, and they always start and play outside of your main deck in the leader area. A leader always begins the game on the leader front side, which is labeled in the top right corner of any leader card. It's also usually the smaller side in terms of attack power. Battle cards, which are also labeled here in the top right corner, are cards you may play into the battle area, usually by paying the energy costs in the top left corner. Notice the red dots next to the number 3. This is called the specified cost. So to play Burst Attack Gohan, you must pay 3 energy total, but 2 of those energies must be red. The third energy can be whatever color you want. Battle cards have attack power that are listed in the bottom left corner. This is going to be important later when we talk about battling. Extra cards, which are also labeled in the top right corner, do not have battle power. Instead, they're able to be played from your hand in certain instances that are specified on the card skill by paying their energy cost in the top left corner. We'll talk more about when you can use extra cards later. A DBS main deck starts in your deck area before every game and is comprised of 50 cards, no more, no less. You may use any combination of battle cards and extra cards in your main deck, but you may only use 4 copies of a card maximum unless the card specifies otherwise, or if it is on the current Dragon Ball Super Ban Unlimited list. Leader cards are never included in the main deck and are always starting in play in the leader area. You may also have a 15 card side deck for best of 3 matches that allow you to swap cards with your main deck in between games, but you are not allowed to side deck leader cards, and your side deck cannot include copies of a card that would exceed a playset that you already have in your main deck. For example, if you already have 4 super combos in your main deck, you may not include any additional super combos in your side deck because of the super combo clause in the card. Now that you know the contents of your deck, let's talk about how to play the game. A game begins by both players shuffling their decks and then presenting their deck to their opponent to cut. Both players then draw 6 cards. From these 6 cards, you're allowed to selectively mulligan, meaning you can keep any of the cards you want and shuffle any you don't want back into the deck. And then you draw the same number of cards you shuffled back in. You may only do this once at the start of each game. After finishing the mulligans, both players take the top 8 cards of their deck and place them in their life area. The main win condition of the game is to reduce your opponent's life to 0 by attacking their opponent's leader and dealing damage. A player loses the game when their life total reaches 0, they reach 0 cards in their deck, or their opponent resolves an alternate win condition like Victory Strike. A player's turn starts by drawing a card, and after you draw your card, you enter the charge phase. However, you may not draw a card if you go first. Once you enter the charge phase, you may take one card in your hand and add it to your energy, upside down. Once a card is placed in the energy area, its skills are ignored and it is treated as one energy of its own color. Next, the turn player enters their main phase, in which they may play cards by tapping their energy, attack, and take actions in mostly any order they want. The main phase is not very structured. Make sure you read all of your card's skill text to know what it does and when its skills activate. Once the turn player ends their turn, the opponent gets to go and repeat the same turn process. Next, we need to talk about battling, which is one of the most technical parts of the Dragon Ball Super card game. A battle is initiated by tapping any of your cards as able to attack and declaring an attack target. In this scenario, I would be declaring an attack with my Dabura by putting it to rest mode, and I would declare Fearless Assault Krillin as my attack target. Battle cards can only be attacked if they are in rest mode or tapped. If they are untapped or in active mode, they are not able to be attacked. Leader cards can be attacked at any time, no matter what mode they're in. Next, there are a few phases to a battle. The first is a counter window in which the player being attacked can respond with cards that say counterattack on them. This would be a situation in which you can activate a card like Power Burst that says counterattack in its skill text. Most counterattacks end up negating the attack and stopping the battle altogether, but some do not. No matter if the attack is negated or not, any attacking autos or defending autos will still trigger. For example, if your card says, when you attack, draw 1 card, even though your opponent activates a counterattack in response to that, that will not negate your auto or your card's skill. The same goes for the opponent. If they have any autos that activate when they are attacked, they will resolve after the counter window, but the turn player will always resolve their autos first before the opponent gets a chance to. After all autos resolve, if the attack is not negated, the person being attacked may activate Blocker, which is a special keyword skill found on cards that allow the attack to be redirected to them. Next, if the attack is not negated, the battle proceeds to combos. The attacker always combos first before the defender, and once the attacker declares they are finished comboing, the defender is allowed to combo and the attacker may not combo for the rest of the battle. During your combos, you may use battle cards from your hand or the cards that are in active mode on your battle area to add battle power to the attacking or defending card. Cards in the battle area that are in rest mode cannot be used to combo. When using a battle card to combo, the values on the side of the card are what we use to add power, not the card's base attack. The first number on the side of the card, which is usually a 0, 1, or 2, is the amount of energy of any color you must use to combo with that card. The next number, which is usually either a 0, 5,000, or 10,000, is the amount of power that card's combo will add to the base power of the attacker or defender. Any comboed battle cards are placed in the combo area during that battle and are placed in the drop area at the end of that battle. During your combos, you may also use extra cards that have activated battle in their skill text by paying their energy cost. While these cards are activated during combos, they are not technically cards you are comboing with, so they go immediately to the drop area after being used. Players often use dice to indicate any power that an extra card may add or subtract from a card for that battle. So, for example, in my attack with my Dabura towards my opponent's Fearless Assault Krillin, if I wanted to power up his attack, I could use this Goku in my battle area, so I would tap it and take it into my combo area. And if I wanted to make the attack even stronger, I could use this Training Buddy Krillin in my hand and put it in the combo area as well tapped, so we would calculate all the power that it adds together. Both Krillin and Goku require 0 energy to combo with, and they both add 5,000 power to my attacker's base, meaning it would be a 40,000 power attack going at my opponent's 5,000 power Krillin. When I declare that I'm finished comboing, my opponent may combo as many cards as they like in order to try and protect the Krillin if they want. Once both players are finished comboing, the attacker and defender's total powers are compared. If the attacker has more power or is tied in power with the defender, the attacker wins the battle. If the defender has more total power than the attacker after combos, the defender wins the battle. When a battle card is attacked and the attacker wins, the battle card is placed in the drop area unless otherwise specified. When a leader card is attacked and the attacker wins, the owner of that leader card takes a card from the life area and adds it to their hand. That is how damage is dealt to a leader and how players get closer to beating their opponent, by dealing damage to the leader. However, sometimes it is more strategic to KO your opponent's battle cards before going for their life, depending on the situation. At the end of the battle, if the defender has more power than the attacker, the defender is not KO'd, but neither is the attacker. The battle basically ends with neither card being KO'd. So, as a recap on how to play battle cards, let's say I wanted to play this Dabura from my hand that requires an energy cost of 3. Keep in mind the 2 blue dots in the top left corner next to the number 3, which remember is called the specified cost, meaning 2 of the energy I pay to play this guy must be blue and the third can be any color I want. So if you look at my current energy pool, which are my upside down cards in my energy area on my field, I have 2 blue cards in my energy and 1 black card in my energy, meaning I can meet the requirement for Dabura. So to play Dabura, I'll bring him onto the field, and then I will tap my 3 energy that I'm using to bring him out, which is the cost I paid to play him. Another thing I'll touch on briefly are some of the ways that effects activate in the Dragon Ball Super card game. So if you look at Training Buddy Krillin, his skill text says Auto. Auto is a blue tagged skill that activates when the condition is met. In the case of Training Buddy Krillin, it is when you play this card, you can do X. Autos usually are mandatory unless they give you the option to choose up to a number of cards, and 0 in this game is included in up to. So in the case of Training Buddy Krillin, choose up to 1 skillless battle card with an energy cost of 2 or less from your drop area and play it, so you may choose 0. Then choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and it gets minus 5,000 power for duration of the turn. So you may also choose 0 in that situation. You do not have to resolve one effect in order to resolve the other. Both effects can be resolved as normal. Next, we'll talk about activate main effects. Activate means you can trigger them during the appropriate time. Main is that time. Main means main phase, where you may have other effects that say activate battle. Those are going to be activated during combos, which is during a battle. You may not activate main skills during your opponent's main phase, only during your own main phase. Next, we'll talk a little bit about Overwhelm. Overwhelm was a new mechanic brought in with the first expansion into the game. Overwhelm is a cheaper way to play certain battle cards. It's usually only black battle cards. So Overwhelm 5, Overwhelm in general states that you must have X amount of cards in your drop area, and in Overwhelm 5, 5 is that number of cards. Then, if you have that number of cards in your drop area, you may send all of your drop area to the warp, and then pay the energy cost next to Overwhelm in order to play this guy for that amount. So in this case, Mass Saiyan Mysterious Warrior, you must have at least 5 cards in your drop area, and then you must warp your entire drop area, which is essentially removing it from the game, and then you pay 1 energy of any color to bring him into play. Mask Sand also has an auto that triggers when he comes into play, specifically by Overwhelm, so keep that in mind. He also has a red keyword skill known as Double Strike. There are several different red keyword skills in the game. If you look at all the older cards that do have these keywords on them, they explain what each of them do. In the case of Mask Sand, he does not explain what Double Strike does, but if you look at Furthering Destruction Champa, which has an auto, when you combo this card, choose one of your attacking cards, it gains Double Strike for duration of the battle, and then next to Double Strike, it explains what Double Strike does. This card inflicts 2 damage instead of 1 when attacking. You have other keyword skills like Critical, which means when your opponent would take a damage, the life goes to the drop area instead of the hand. You have Dual Attack, which means after a card attacks once, it can restand and attack again. There are a few other keyword skills, so make sure you're reading the card text, and if you don't know what one does, look at an older card for reference. Alright, Dragon Ballers, this is pretty much going to wrap up the How to Play Dragon Ball Super card game video. If you guys are seeing this channel for the first time, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and make sure you stay up to date with all the other Dragon Ball Super videos I post. I post a ton of videos for learning how to play the game in better fashions, how to get better at the game, and how to, have fun with the game as well. There's a lot of casual content on this channel as well as competitive. If you're looking for more Dragon Ball Super resources, check out the Discord in the description below. Excellent group of people if you want to get plugged into the Dragon Ball Super community. Also, check out the Dragon Ball Super community Facebook group on Facebook. There's always tons of conversations there. Also, tons and tons of cool people you can meet that play this game. Maybe meet some people in your local area. Find a local card shop that you can play at. Other than that, if you find you want to become more competitive in the Dragon Ball Super card game, check out the Patreon in the description below. Really helps support the channel, and I post tons of competitive articles on there as well. I also post some for free on Shenron'sLair.com. Make sure you check them out as well. But guys, I hope you guys dive deep into the world of Dragon Ball Super. I hope you guys love this game as much as I do. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments below. I'll make sure to get back to you. And also maybe check the comments below. Maybe someone asked the same question you have, and maybe I gave a detailed explanation there. So check that out. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the future Dragon Ball Super card game videos.